Today, we're hopefully going to give you a little bit of confidence for changing out your center carrier bearing on your Tundra or any vehicle by watching me struggle through it. Coming up.
A bad day.
Yeah! Hi, my name's Drew and this is Evergreen Overland. On this channel we showcase 4x4 vehicle modifications, we do reviews on camping and overland gear, and we hone our outdoor cooking skills. I've been getting a shudder at highway speeds and then braking for quite a while. I've got a couple different ideas of what it could be caused from, and I think the first thing I'm going to tackle is changing out the center carrier bearing and checking my U-joints to make sure they are not worn out. This video is not really going to be a how-to step-by-step, but just hoping to encourage you to maybe take on some of these type of jobs yourself. If you look around online and you look around YouTube, there's some good information out there to give you kind of the encouragement and the knowledge to do some jobs like this yourself. Let's get into the video. Today I'm kind of in the middle of shooting multiple different videos. I got all my components to redo the driveline, U-joints, and center support bearing. I'm going to get under there, clean it off with brake cleaner, and then shoot some PB Blaster on there and probably shoot PB Blast. Probably shoot PB Blast a couple of times over the next few days. All right, yeah, so I got the new carrier bearing right here, and it's a Spicer 500 2334. Cool, says Toyota on it, so genuine Toyota part. And then I don't know if I'll need them or not, but I also got some Spicer greasable U-joints, and got 3 of them for the truck. That is not greasable. None of these are greasable. So it looks like I'm not going to do the U-joints, because I wanted greasable U-joints, so these are going back. All right, well, I'm just going to change out the carrier bearing today, so I've got to take the driveline out, got a paint pen to mark my components together so they all go back in the same spot. Next, I'm going to chalk my tires really well, make sure the parking brake's on. I think I want it in neutral. Okay, so I got the bolts, I got the nuts off here, left the studs in. Same thing on the front. I'm going to go ahead and support the back side of this. Actually, I don't think I need to support this because it'll just land right here. You got to be real careful not to dent your drive shaft because that'll throw it out of whack. And get this up here. Okay, so good to go. Now we can work on separating the front and the back half. I'm going to go grab my tools. So the nut goes towards the front of the transmission. Little locking castle nut that I need to bend out, so I got to find something that's going to fit in there. All right, I got this torque down to 60 foot-pounds. I'm going to take the opportunity. I went through and I tested all my universal joints by just, grabbing them tight, making sure not to grab the shaft itself, but grabbing the joints and wiggling them. And all of them seem to be pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead, clean off the Zerks, pump them with a little bit of grease. Not this one, because that will cause the shaft to start expanding outward, but all the universal joints. Well, this really does suck. While I was cleaning off the grease on this with the brake cleaner, it erased the white paint on the second half of the driver. Alright, so I just realized that I've videotaped everything, so I might actually be able to look at the video and see if these are lined up, even though my paint mark got moved around. So I'm going to go take a look at that on the computer. Make sure you really mark the junctions between the different parts of the drive shaft and where they mount up so that it balances properly when you put it back together. And just be very careful if you're going to be cleaning things off with brake cleaner, because like I said, I cleaned my paint off the center area where the drive shafts meet, and if I hadn't been videotaping it, it would have just been a guess. So I was able to go back through and match up some identifying marks on it, and that makes me feel a lot better knowing that it's not going to be out of balance and freaking break off down the freeway. So, and I'm pretty sure you're gonna have to check the manual for yourself, but I torqued those to 65 foot-pounds, and I'm gonna throw a little line across all the bolts, check those after driving around for a bit to make sure they are not coming loose. All right, well, the carrier bearing all installed. I got the drive shaft back together. I'm gonna take it for a quick spin and hope things don't come flipping apart. Well, it feels decent. Haven't really got above 40. Well, I can tell that the brake shutter is not due to the carrier bearing. Getting the exact same shutter while applying the brake lightly. Well, we'll see. I don't know if I really notice anything too drastically different. My shutter, while braking lightly, is still there. So my next guess is probably changing out some of the brake components. Gonna do a rotor swap. We'll see. At least the drive line so far hasn't come shattering apart, and I seem to have gotten it back in there in the proper order. So, well, kind of a bummer that the carrier bearing did not solve my issue that I can tell. Like I said, I'm going to have to get it up to freeway speeds and see if it still has that little bit of shutter at 65, 70. After all that said and done, at least I know how to do it in the future. And I know that the carrier bearing now is new, and I can kind of judge the life of that unit as I go. Hey, I appreciate you watching the video. Hopefully it inspires you to maybe take on a little bit of your own maintenance in your vehicles. If you like this video, please consider hitting the subscribe button and mashing that like button to let me know I've done a good job. It really helps the YouTube algorithm stuff. If you have any questions, please throw them in the comment section below. I'll link any of the products I use to this in the description section below, but I definitely recommend that you kind of source out the part numbers and all that kind of stuff for yourself. Yeah, other than that, if you want to follow me or find out more about us, you can check me out over on Instagram at EvergreenOverland, as well as evergreenoverland.com. Thanks for watching.